the news.
Hi, I'm Tessa with Brain Rot News with a few bits of news for you to choke on from March 20th. In a move that screams reading, who needs it? Donald Trump has signed an executive order directing the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education, effectively passing the responsibility of schooling back to the states, or as Republicans like to call it, letting Florida decide your child's future. This aligns perfectly with the GOP's long-term dream of turning public education into a Mad Max-style wasteland where only the strong and the homeschooled survive. So who's in charge of this disaster? Overseeing this grand educational bonfire is none other than Education Secretary Linda McMahon. Yes, the same Linda McMahon from WWE, because if there's one thing the American education system needed, it was more steel chairs and scripted outcomes. McMahon's job is to ensure that essential services like Pell Grants and federal student loans continue, at least until they can figure out how to replace them with scratch-off tickets labeled "win a college degree." Can he actually do this? Not entirely. Since the Department of Education was created and funded by Congress, Trump can't legally disband it on his own. But since when has legality stopped him? This move is basically the political equivalent of lighting a stick of dynamite and hoping no one figures out how to defuse it. Expect lawsuits, expect chaos, expect at least one Republican senator to show up on Fox News screaming about states' rights while mispronouncing the word curriculum. So who gets screwed first? Immediate layoffs have already hit the Civil Rights Division of the department, of course, because if there's one thing Republicans hate more than education, it's education that acknowledges racism. This means fewer investigations into discrimination, meaning if your kid gets expelled for being black in a conservative school district, well, good luck with that. Who actually wants this? Republicans, libertarians, and anyone whose entire educational philosophy can be summed up as teach kids how to start a business, not history. Advocates claim that this will reduce bureaucracy and give states more control, which is a fancy way of saying, let Mississippi decide if slavery should be called a career opportunity. But someone is sounding the alarm. A few someones, actually. The NAACP, Democratic leaders, teachers' unions, and education advocates are all warning that this will decimate resources for low-income and minority students, because when you take away federal oversight, states do what they do best, gut funding for poor kids while funneling taxpayer dollars into private schools for the rich. This executive order is going to be tied up in legal battles for months, but in the meantime, the Department of Education is already being gutted. If you thought US public schools were bad before, wait until Betsy DeVos comes crawling back with a for-profit learning solution sponsored by Chick-fil-A and PragerU. So there you have it. Trump, a man whose greatest literary accomplishment is not reading the Constitution, is now dismantling the one government agency responsible for making sure people can actually read. America, your next spelling bee word is dystopia. Ukraine just pulled off one of its most daring strikes yet, hitting Russia's Engels Air Base, a key hub for Moscow's nuclear-capable